Hi everyone, in this video I'm going to be working through this grade 10 question where we have to analyze these two functions. So let's just get a feel for this question quick. So first of all, we've got the function f of x, which when it's in this form, it is an exponential function. And then we have the straight line graph g of x, which we can kind of see on the graph anyway. So the important thing to remember with an exponential function is this value here is our asymptote, which is often useful. And then on the straight line graph, that value there is your y-intercept. Okay, so we've got that set up now. We can see we've got the straight line graph is in pink here or purple, and then the exponential function is in black. And they've actually shown us the asymptote, so kind of useful. We can see the straight line graph here and the exponential function, they intersect at the y-intercept. So let's just fill in. So our asymptote here we said was this line where the exponential, the asymptote is 3. And then we said the straight line graph intersects the y-axis at the point 4. So that would be at the point 0, 4. Okay, let's get into some of these questions. So write down the asymptote of f of x. Okay, great. So we already started with that. So 2.3.1. The asymptote is always in f of x. We've got 3 to the x plus 3. The asymptote is always this number here. Okay, and so our asymptote is y is equal to 3. That is our asymptote. 2.3.1, right, 2.3.2. Write down the range. Okay, so the range is all the y values. Okay, so what y values can this graph have? So if we look at f of x, it starts, the lowest y value it gets is at the asymptote, so 3. And then it just goes. So let's get a different color here. So then it just goes up, 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 and it never stops. So it could have any value from 3, the asymptote, until infinity. It could go up forever. Okay, so how we write that then is we say y is an element of 3. It's an open bracket like this because it can't ever touch the asymptote, and it goes all the way to infinity. Okay, so that is how we write that. So y ranges from 3 all the way up to infinity. Next up, 2.3.2. Oh, sorry, let me hide this actually. We want the coordinates of A. Okay, which we have kind of actually already worked out. So we said A is this value here. That is where the straight line graph touches the y-axis. And so we know it's at the y-intercept. So at the y-intercept, the x value is always 0. And then we knew that is at the point 4 because that is from this graph, this g of x. We have that 4. Okay, let's see. 2.3.4, for which values of x is f of x greater than g of x? Okay, so let's just recap. So f of x is our exponential graph. G of x is our straight line graph. So we want to know, let's write this, where is the exponential graph bigger or greater than straight line graph? Okay, so if we look at this one, let's make it a bit bigger again and clear all the stuff on here. We want to know where is the exponential graph bigger than the straight line graph. Okay, so we can see here on this side, the straight line graph is higher. But then here, this is where it swaps. So suddenly the straight line graph is lower. So it's all the values from here. Okay, so we can say from when x is 0, it swaps over. Okay, so when x is 0, we can see it carries on like that. It's always going to be bigger than the straight line graph then. Okay, so then how we write it is they want the x values. So we say from when x is 0 up until infinity. Okay, so where is the exponential graph bigger than the straight line? When x is an element of 0 to infinity. Okay, so that's how you would write that. So for which values of x is bigger, it's from 0 to infinity. I really hope that